Man, I really wanted to have pot roast, but all my pots are dirty, and I just don't feel like washing them. I guess we better smoke one. Hey YouTube, welcome to Griffin Grills. I am Griffin. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to share this video on your social media platforms. It does help me out greatly. And today we're going to be doing a pot roast, but we're actually going to smoke one up. We'll have to tie it up with some butcher's twine to help it hold its shape. And we're also going to be wrapping it in foil with some beef stock and save that juice because we're going to make a gravy with it. Simple gravy, just the juice, little flour, whisk it up till it thickens. I'll show you the gravy at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and head down to the table and we'll show you what we're working with today. Alright, so we've got a beautiful chuck roast here. I did pre-salt this already and stick it in the refrigerator overnight to help let that salt kind of settle in and give it a little more flavor. We're going to use Worcestershire sauce as a binder to hold on our rub. And today we're using a Rufus Teague's steak rub. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Looks like we got some salt, some dehydrated onion, garlic, ground coffee, spices, brown sugar, and acetic acid. So we're going to try this stuff out, see how well it tastes on our chuck roast. So first thing we got to do is get it out of the package. And yeah, that salt did the trick. You can see how red that came out. Now, it was a little loose, so I went ahead and tied it up with some butcher's twine to help give it a better shape. So hopefully the even cooking surface will help it cook a little better. So we're just going to start with a little Worcestershire sauce. And just rub that in, let it settle down in and get in the meat. Make sure we get the sides around too. I'm going to make this the top of my roast, so when I put it on the smoker, it's going to sit just like this. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more rub on top. I'll make sure it gets a nice crust on it. Alright, so we're going to let that hang out for just a minute and let those seasonings soak in while we're waiting on our grill to come up to temp. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put our chuck roast on. The grill came up to temp. It took about 20 minutes for that process. We are using slow and sear today, so I've got it loaded up already with my charcoal, my wood, and 4 cups of water just to give some moisture in the cooking environment. So let's just put this roast on. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be good. We are going to run an internal temperature probe, just to kind of keep an eye on our temperatures. And we're doing this just like a brisket, so once it hits the stall, we'll actually wrap it up. I've got some beef broth. I'm going to put in some aluminum foil just to give it a little bit more moisture. But we just want to mark kind of where the center of our roast would be, and it looks like it's going to go all the way to the neck of the probe. Just like that, and we'll just put the lid down and let her cook. Alright, Alright, so it's been about 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and spray down our chuck roast. I did mix up a 50-50 solution of beef broth and water, just to kind of keep the meat moist. We got the water in the slow and sear, but I wanted to impart some beef flavor in there too. Also, when we wrap, we're going to pour a can of beef broth in with the tinfoil. And that thing sure is looking good, smelling good. I'm going to take you in for a closer look. Okay, so funny story. I thought I hit the record button and I did not, but we've got our chuck roast wrapped up in foil, and I poured a can of beef broth in there to help it finish out cooking through the stall. So we're going to get it back out on the grill now, and hopefully in about 3 more hours we'll be able to pull it off and let it rest. We're going to take it not to a specific temperature, just going to probe it, and when the probe goes in and comes out real smooth with little resistance, that's when we know it's going to be done. So let me get it back out on the smoker. Alright, our chuck roast has hit an internal temperature of 205, but we're not really concerned about that. We're going to probe it with a thermometer and see how loose it goes in and out. We want it to be somewhere around the consistency of butter. And that feels like it's moving pretty nice. So we're going to go ahead and get it off and get it in a cooler resting. And then the next shot you see, we'll be slicing it up and serving. Alright, so you can see not everything went according to plan with this cook. A couple of things got messed up. I messed up on a few things. It's going to happen when you barbecue. You just got to learn to make those adjustments on the fly. The one thing that did work the way it was supposed to was that roast turned out amazing. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And go ahead and share it on your social media feeds and get your friends interested in it so they can share and subscribe also, and it helps me out tremendously. I do appreciate it, and we will see you on the next one.